Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. It's Fancy, the award winning editor in chief of Swagger Magazine. And while you guys are heading into the live, I'm going to go and grab the link that I need. Let me see. All right. So I'm hopping on today. I know it seems like I'm on here every week now talking about something else that we're doing, but I don't think oftentimes that people realize, like, yes, we are a magazine, but as a magazine, we still have to make money. So we still have to offer services. We still have our products that that we offer as well. Of course, we do offer print magazines, but we all know not a lot of people buy print magazines. I mean, we wish more people did, but just being real, like that's not always the case. So we have to come up with other products and services as well. So I am hopping on today to tell you all about CEO Chatter Live, which is the podcast that I have been broadcasting on Mondays at 12 p.m. Central Time. You all may have seen me with other guests, with business owners. It does stream live to our Facebook, YouTube, and our LinkedIn. So, but we haven't had any this year just yet. I think the last one we had was like in early December. I haven't booked any other guests since then. But that is the reason why I'm coming to you all today. So actually, we're opening up our booking for CEO Chatter Live. So now, whereas at first I was always finding a guest and I would invite them on, and it's still kind of an exclusive thing. I'll still be inviting some guests on, but now I am opening the booking so that those of you who are business owners that are looking for more exposure for your business can now be a guest on CEO Chatter Live. And CEO Chatter Live is where I say it's where business and life intersect. Usually it is a business owner who shares their story, but I also try to make certain that each business owner breaks something down within their field of expertise, so that it's continuing to teach the business audience that is watching, right? So like in the past, we had Rakia Proctor, and she showed us how to make a 6-part business plan. So for those who may just be starting out, or even those who may have already been in the game, then they could also create their business plan. And then excuse me, I have emails coming through and I'm trying to see what they're saying at the same time. We also recently had on Miss Precious L. Williams, who is the killer pitch master. She was on, and she was our last guest. That was in December, and that episode has done really well. It's almost at 1,000 views on our website, so people are not only listening to it on the podcasting platforms, but they're also reading it on the website and watching the live replay of it. So with the package that we're offering, it gets you placement in 7 places. You're going to go on Swagger Online, of course. You're also going to be on our Facebook, our YouTube, our LinkedIn. That's 4 places right there during the live broadcast. And that live broadcast is what we're going to place on Swagger Online. And then there's also, it also streams to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. So that's 7 placements that you get, and the package is $125. It's a 25-minute interview because I do have to make certain I have some time included in there for the for other advertisements, but also I try to keep it at 25 minutes so that that's the time that we agreed on from it for the editing. Hi there, Ayana Ware. She said this is so good. Thank you, Ayana. Or is it Ayana? And then TK Zyvan Naturals Canada Inc. said, hi everyone watching from Toronto. Hey girl, hey, look, I like that. I did not know we had people in Canada, but it's always good to know those. Tell some more people about us, girl. So I just wanted to hop on, tell you all about the offer, and also share like the benefits of being on a podcast, because some people might be like, oh, I don't want to get in front of people. Well, not all podcasts are, visual. Ours is visual, but it also has the audio, which is what we use on the other platforms, right? So the benefits of being on a podcast is, for one, you get an engaged audience handed to you, because most of the times people that listen to podcasts, Donna, Iana. Okay, got it. Okay. So most times when people are listening to podcasts, they are are like faithful listeners, right? So they tune in regularly. So these are people that are already engaged. They might leave comments, or they're going to share the podcast or tell someone else about what they heard last night because they are already listening. So it's a great way to tap into new audiences, but not just a new audience, an audience that is actually engaged already. Number two, another benefit of being a guest on a podcast is it's an opportunity to share your expertise and basically just talk your ish, like let people know I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for X many of years. For me, I've been doing this now for almost 13 years come July. So I love opportunities to be on other people's podcasts because that's a time for me to be able to tap into their audience and also show my personality, which brings me to number three. That's another way that is another positive of being on a podcast is that you're allowed to show your personality. Hi there, Tyree Hill. Good afternoon. It looks like you're actually on a mic on your photo. So I don't know if you're a podcaster or what, but I'm certain you know the benefits of podcasting if you are. So it allows you to be able to, like, oftentimes we're behind the screens, we're on social media, so people can't really tell who we are. I know that from firsthand experience because I used to be deep behind the scenes. Like nobody ever saw me. So only like within the past 2 years have I been surfacing more. But I have been coming more out of that. So I'm getting more used to, like, I'm the one that normally goes live now and talk about the different products. But before, if there was someone else that I could push into that spotlight, that's what I would do. But I realized I was holding myself back because people weren't really getting to know. Like people want to know what it is that your brand does and what all you offer, but they also want to know the person behind the brand because they want to know exactly like what type of person that they're giving their money to oftentimes. So this is a great opportunity for you to be able to show them who you are. Some podcasts even allow you to submit your questions, but if not, then you can still already if you already have your script or your story together, if you know who you are, you know what your foundation is, and you speak from that standpoint, you'll always do well on podcasts, because you're not going to veer off. You're not going to be saying one thing on one podcast and saying another thing on another podcast because you're not certain about who you are. But when you have that brand identity established, then we already know that's, we may not know exactly what you're going to say, but you kind of have something that's kind of expected of you. I guess that's a good way to put it. And then the fourth way, that podcast can benefit you is that it allows podcasts allow you to be able to create more content. So say you're on a podcast, right? And they ask you a question and you reply. You can write a blog that further expounds on whatever it is that that you replied with. Like maybe y'all were almost out of time when you were telling them your last answer, so now, but you wanted to get your point across, so now you can take that and then add on to it and further write about it, and you can add that to your website. You can break the podcast up into little clips and share it on your social media. You can use that to leverage being a guest on another podcast, because now you can say, watch me in this interview that I was in with so and so, you know what I mean? You can share or you can share those clips of you speaking, like, maybe you gave a really good answer and you were just like, yes, this is the one that makes me an expert right here, or I sounded like an expert, and you're proud of it. Then take that timestamp and send it in a video, send the video out to other people. You can share it in your newsletter and just be like, here's why I so and so. Here's what inspired me to do so and so. So there's so many things that you can do with that content, especially if they're willing to give you the raw file of it, which is something that we are willing to do if you ask within a week's time, because I do go through and delete those once I've gotten everything that I needed. But if you can get the raw file of the podcast, like actually get the video format or the audio format, and you can find someone else, you can find someone on Fiverr, or you might already know somebody, and they can assist you with making those other assets out of that one podcast. And just imagine, there's so many things you can do with that 25 minutes of that. So many ways that that you can continue to just I'm not gonna say just maximize that moment, but oftentimes people don't understand it. Like there'll be a guest and then they may talk about being a guest prior to the podcast, but then once it's done, we don't hear anything else about it. They're not making certain to include it in their press kit or on their media page on their website or on their one sheet, or maybe add it in in your email signature, down at the bottom. There's so many things that you can do so that it's not just something that you did and then it's done. It's something that there's other things that you can do so that it continues to live on, and you're continue to be, get more views and have more people know about you, and continue to spread their brand awareness. So the package that we're offering is for our CEO Chatter Live podcast. It is a business podcast, as I mentioned earlier. It's where business and life intersect. And I always try to make certain that my guests have something that they can break down and teach to the viewers. And that's normally our business audience that's tuned in. We do stream live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And then after that, we take the replay, have it edited, and then it's going to go up on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. So you all can check it out. You all can actually subscribe right now, as I am growing the audience there. So if you have an iPhone, I'm just an iPhone, I'm an Apple user. So everything with me is Apple. But so I'm so prone to tell people, like, go and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. But you all can find me on other platforms, or find the show on other platforms. And that is CEO Chatter Live. And I'm just going to make a banner right quick that says that, because I didn't think about it. I always forget my banner, guys. I don't know what it is, but this is the name of it. So you guys can search that on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, and it will pull up for you. And then here is the link to the package if anybody is interested. It is $125, and it's an introductory price, because that's gonna go up. Right now we're just, I'm trying to get some guests on and just get things, moving along. And then I also have some people that I want to invite to be guests as well. So I know either way, the show is gonna, do well. It's already doing well, but I just thought that it would be good to open this up to the audience, because I know that there are a lot of business owners out there that are looking to be on podcasts. They understand the value in them. And if you all think about how social media is really being right now, like, how is it we have almost 160,000 followers on this page, but it's only 9 of you all on here, right? Think about how on Instagram I have about 5,300 followers on my personal page, and then we have about almost 60,000 on the Swagger Magazine Instagram account. But half the time we don't even see half of that. So social media works when it's good, but when it's not good, like right now, I know we've all been kind of dealing with whatever the algorithm has going on. Then you want to have something else in place, an alternative to that. Now I'm saying this, and then I'm probably about to go live on Instagram and share the same broadcast message again. But I do know, we might actually touch more people on in our newsletter than we actually do when we're going live. You just never know. But the point is that you have to have other avenues. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to market my business through social media and that's going to be the end all," because that doesn't always work. And unless you have like so extremely popping content, then okay, that I could see that. But if you're not out here, showing us your jets and your private jets and all that type of stuff, then you're gonna have to work a little bit harder at it. And so I would suggest making certain that you're not just putting your eggs in all in one basket, but that you're also finding other avenues to continue to grow your brand awareness. So I just wanted to hop on, share this information with you guys. See, you said, so the Swagger Magazine will be online to read. Swagger Magazine has a website. It's swaggeronline.com. I'll drop that in the comments for you. And we update our website at least 4 times a week as far as content. And then we also have our print magazines. So we're not just online, we're also in print as well. But this whole discussion has been about our podcast that we have. We did also have the Theories and Thoughts podcast, but that has come to an end. So I hope that answers your question, Marshall. You can order a copy of the magazine from the website. This is our latest issue right here, the healing issue. And then you can listen to the podcast on any of the podcasting platforms. Y'all got any other questions for me? Thank you. Thank you. He said, I love it all. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't see any other questions. So I think I'm gonna be heading on out. Well, and by heading on out, I just mean I think I'm about to head over to Instagram. But y'all also, if you're following this page, follow us on TikTok. We have been doing good with the Black Girl Follow Train. Like we have some followers there, but we could always use more because we would like to really grow within the TikTok community as well. Don't forget, if you're not following us on Instagram, then do follow us on Instagram and do check out our stories and the content that we have there, because so many people are so used to like the celeb pictures and things like that. But there are so many people that are just everyday average people, not celebs, doing great things that we write about all the time. They may not be, up here in your eyes, but within their communities they may be up there. So check them out, and check out our content. We have some really good articles up on the website right now. Arthur Obsession has really been like writing her behind off in the lifestyle section. She has some great tips and just things to help make you a better woman. And then Vince has been writing about sports, for women who like sports. Like, for those who aren't familiar with the website, it is more so geared towards Black women, but we do have some sports content on there as well. Our TikTok is Swagger Mag. Let me just. I just dropped it in the comments, Constantina. Yeah. And I've been trying to follow people back, but TikTok, I realized it'd be like doing a little switch thing. So it'll make you start following people that's not following you, thinking that you're following the people that are following you. I don't know if that makes sense, but the little thing be toggling or something. So I got to work on it, because I'm like, we started following people and I was trying to follow back all the people that did follow us. But we've gotten up to like 1,100. Like we follow back about 1,100 people as of now. So, and that's continuing to grow. Okay, so I think that's everything, guys. If y'all want to hear my whole little spiel again, y'all can join me on Instagram. And tomorrow, Dr. Laquita will be going live at 9 a.m. with her 3 tools for growth. And then Chris Natha DeRozier will be going live at 11 a.m. with the Masterpiece Lounge. You guys can check out both of those segments every Wednesday. Here on Facebook, because that's where they broadcast. And then we also do some replays of the Masterpiece Lounge on the website too. So if you all happen to miss any and you want to go back, Chris Natha's lives do go on the website. But I think that's everything. So peace and blessings. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a great Tuesday.